Kev. Two home wins back to back. You know, you must be feeling good at the minute. The mood around the place must be really positive.
Yeah, as you can imagine, you know, your natural reaction, and mood and morale around the camp is very, very good. So yeah, looking forward now to another tough challenge down at Solihull. We'll be well prepared for it, physically and mentally, and then it's just about the application of the players going down there and trying to get the job done against you know, a good team. So it'll be a tough one, but yeah, we're going into it full of confidence. You know, after a game of two halves the other night, but we'll take the positives from the game. We'll learn from the negatives, but you know, the positive second half, we need to take that into the start of the game at the weekend.
Yeah, two challenging away fixtures already dealt with. You know, a good win at Bromley and then a draw at Woking started the game, you know, relatively positively. So, you know, looking for another big start on Saturday.
Yeah, and I always ask for a quick start, and you know, you can never quite second guess what's going to happen. And you know, we conceded very, very early against Boreham Wood, so it set us back, but we never let that phase us, and we went on to win the game. And we had to come back from another setback in terms of the challenge of, can we raise our levels after a disappointing first half the other night. We weren't at the races. We were second best all over, and the players recognised that, and we addressed it at half time. We tweaked it a little bit in terms of the shape, personnel, and we got the reaction we was looking for. So you know, we've already showed this season that we can certainly go away and compete with good sides and get results, and we're going to have to be at our very best at the weekend against the team that, you know, we'll be looking to bounce back after a draw. I say a bounce back, they'll be looking to get back to winning ways, certainly at home in front of their own crowd on Saturday in Solihull. They're a good side. They're well organised, they're well drilled, they've got some good players, so we need to be ready for it. So that's the challenge for us.
Yeah, and just looking at league position, you know, you're putting a good display against Bromley, who were second at the time, Altrincham, who I think were fifth or sixth at the time, and you know, Solihull around that place as well. I think they're currently fourth. So how important is it to lay down these markers when you're playing, you know, teams up there on the table? Yeah,
well, I think, you know, from our point of view, Solihull will certainly know that they've been in a game come quarter-5 at Saturday evening. So, you know, they'll look at our results of late and they'll think they're a team banging form. So they'll have to play well, and we've already showed that we can, you know, as I say, compete and get points off of teams above us. I think the league, you know, barring Chesterfield, who of late have dropped points, you know, anyone can beat anyone on any given day. It's just how you come prepared. It's how you prepare, you know, tactically and physically. We'll certainly be ready for the challenge. We showed that on Tuesday night, that we're definitely a fit team to be able to raise our levels in the second half. And then it's just about individuals. Can you bring your, you know, your A game to the table? And if we can do that, we have got good players, and you know, we're full of confidence. We're defending well. We're organised, and the team spirit is really, really good. So we're going to need all that to get a result on the road, and you know, it's a game that we're all looking forward to.
You faced several different challenges. You know, Boreham Wood a bit more of a physical, direct side. Altrincham, you know, quick in attack. What sort of test are you expecting from Solihull?
I think more a bit of both, really. You know, they've got the attributes to do both, but I think they like to play football. They like to play through the thirds, a bit like Altrincham, and you know, so we certainly, once we got used to it on Tuesday, and we adapted, and you know, a few messages at half time, we showed that we could cope with it and we could deal with it. So we've got to take that same approach into the game on Saturday. We'll give them a respect they deserve, but we can't give them too much respect. So you know, we know, I always preach to the players, and wherever I've been, that it's about what we do, and you know, if we can nullify their threats, and then in turnovers, in transition, we can do what we can do. You know, we've showed we're a handful, and we've certainly, at the minute, we've got goals in the team, two back-to-back, scoring 3 times in back-to-back games. So lots and lots of confidence running through the team, but we're going to have to be on our game.
Just touching on some player news, we'll go with Luke Hendry first. Coming off early on Tuesday, you mentioned there's a slight tweak on his hamstring. Have you had time to assess him and, you know, look at that area?
No, we haven't. You know, I think our initial thoughts, it could be a pull. We're going to send him for a scan, so until we get that back, we can't really make too much judgment. But you know, if it's what we kind of think it might be, it it might be potentially could be the season done, but we'll assess that when we get the results back. So disappointed for Luke. He's been nothing but brilliant for me since I've been here. Just Mr. Reliable. It's been excellent. So disappointed for him to lose him. That's an area obviously I need to think about. I might need to address and bring some cover or bring someone else in. So we're certainly discussing that and looking at options. So yeah, it's a bit of a blow for Luke, that.
Yeah, very disappointing as you say, but you look at the replacements you're putting on Tuesday. Louis, Manny on Arise must make it slightly easier, knowing that they are players possibly ready to come into that position if needed.
Yeah, definitely. I think Louis come on and showed what he's all about. He gave us a spark, he gave us a lift at a time when we needed it, in that right wing back position, and he can play right back as well. So it's not something I'm going to desperately rush into and look for a player in that position, but because we've got cover there, and so he did really, really well, as you rightly said on Arise. I thought come on the other night after not playing for a while, could have been disappointed, but I praised him in the dressing room afterwards to say his attitude's been unbelievable. His professionalism has been unbelievable. He trains well, he does everything right, and he showed when he come on he never ever lets you down. So I was delighted with that. So at the minute there's competition for places. Of course I'd like the players that are still out injured, I'd like them back in the fold, so we're working day in day out to try and get them back. We've had Courtney Duffers back training with us today, so that's a plus. So he'll come straight into contention for the squad for the weekend. So we're still missing Anthony Mancini. That's a day-by-day basis one. Otis Khan's probably going to be another 2 or 3 weeks. So we're gradually getting them back, but unfortunately we've lost Luke, and which is a blow for us.
Yeah, and you mentioned a few names there, just on the likes of Anthony and Alex Lacey, Josh O'Meara. How's their day-to-day progress going, and are they making progress? How further as you expect them to be on the road before we do get us back in action?
Yeah, well, Alex Lacey's been training. He had a slight back issue in the last few days, but he'll be back training tomorrow. So that's good news. Josh O'Meara again. He trained with the kids on Monday, I think it was, and he was just feeling it slightly. So it's one of those really. Again, he might dip in and out of training with the kids to get contact. Then hopefully, as things goes on, he'll join into us. So maybe that might only be a week to 10 days away. Anthony Mancini again is just a day-by-day assessment with him. I don't think he's too far away, but it's one of those with the injury he's got. We can't rush him after him being out for so long. He needs to be spot on before he comes back, so we don't want to lose him, because if he gets another injury, worse than what it is, then that potentially could be the season. So I don't want to do that. I want to make sure he's right before he comes back, but he's not a million miles away.